I'm slow, right?
Mentally.
Oh my God, mentally, okay. I'm talking about I'm slow in the boxing ring, right?
Mentally.
I'm talking about the boxing ring, what you was talking about. I'm slow, right?
Mentally.
Okay, you're gonna see. I promise you're gonna see.
Teo, to Shakur's point, you seem to be the guy that rises to the level of your competition. When you were going against Loma, people felt you were the underdog. Josh Taylor, the same thing. And those are the fights where you really showcased your skills and abilities and upset the odds. Is this another fight where you're coming in there with that mentality to upset the odds?
Just put them in front of me and I'll beat them. Not about the odds. It's about, I guess defining them. You define the odds. Everybody's against you, great. That's when you know you're doing great. I put a thing out there. It's like, if you want to be liked in this sport, be a good boxer. You want to be loved in the sport, be the best boxer. But if you want to be hated in this sport, including the odds, be the greatest boxer.
The conversation came across as relaxed at first glance, but that calm was misleading. There was an underlying strain in the room that never really went away. And the second they began talking about their shared history, the amateur scene, early career moves, and who benefited from opportunities, the mood noticeably shifted. That's when things stopped feeling friendly and started feeling personal.
I'm thinking, I don't know if it's 2011 or 2012 National Junior Olympics or Junior National Golden Gloves. And I remember seeing him. He was wearing a white tank top. I think it was red and white trunks. And he was just whooping on dude bad. And that's when I noticed we were both cleaning up our divisions leading up to the finals. He ended up winning. I ended up, coming in second.
Did you first become aware of Teo?
It's so crazy. So like when I first kind of got aware of Teo, was probably before he even knew me. But I used to get on YouTube and I used to watch like the DMV fight, and I seen one of his fights up there and I kind of watched him. I thought he was a good fighter, and that's when I kind of got a first whiff of Teo. But when I finally first met him, probably was the same time he talking about.
Shakur admitted it without much emotion, that there was some jealousy there. Teofimo fired right back, saying he never cared. And just like that, the conversation stopped being about careers and timelines. It turned into something deeper, old pride, old resentment, and feelings that clearly never went away.
I was good with Teo. I thought Teo was a little jealous of me. That's what I thought.
Yeah, he was getting the fights that you would. You were calling for Loma. He got Loma.
Yeah.
Did you see him as a future foe?
I think that everything just plays out the way it does, and eventually we was gonna end up meeting up with each other. Eventually, I had never seen any jealousy in my part with him. I mean, for crying out loud, he fought for Team USA, got a silver medal. And,
not during them times though,
and
bro.
The whole thing
not
was
during them times.
pushed.
I'm speaking on the times where I felt like you had a push start. You got the you used to be ahead of me far as like ESPN only like black fighters and all that kind of stuff. And when you said that, I kind of felt like it was a shot at me. So I felt like it was a little bit of jealousy.
No, I just didn't give an F. That's all. Cool. I just didn't give an F about.
That's when Teofimo shifted it into fight mode, talking about stopping Shakur or forcing him to give in. You could feel the atmosphere change instantly. But Shakur didn't raise his voice. He answered in a flat, icy tone, questioning whether Teofimo actually believed he lacked speed. One of those quiet comments that has a way of coming back to haunt someone once the bell finally rings.
How do you feel when you hear a guy say he might not just stop you, but he might make you quit in the fight?
Make me quit is crazy. Like, I don't got no quit in me, but it's cool. He's supposed to feel that way. Like, he's supposed to say the things that he's saying. He's not saying nothing out of the ordinary or something that I didn't expect. Only thing that I kind of took away, he got on a podcast, I want to say he said that I was slow. And that's the part where I'm like, okay, he's going to be very surprised come fight night, to where it's like, you really thought I was slow? Like, is that something like you put in your brain and thought it was about to come out there? And
Teofimo came across like someone protecting what he believes is his space, reacting as if a line had been crossed. Shakur, on the other hand, Sounded like a fighter who's been preparing for this confrontation for a long time and isn't concerned with whose spotlight it is. And if the tension was this intense just sitting across from each other, it's hard to imagine what happens over 12 rounds when talking is no longer an option.
You gonna beat me?
No,
what are
I
we
know what
talking
I'm
about?
gonna do. I know what I'm
so
gonna do.
So you gonna erase my name?
I know what I'm going to do.
This 140.
Basically, what I'm trying to let you know
right?
is that boxing ain't gonna allow it.
But how boxing not gonna allow it?
It won't.
How?
Cause now you facing me.
Oh shit! I'm so scared. Tio, I'm frightened. I'm scared for my life. I'm facing you. Ooh. That shit don't move me, bro. I can't wait to see you. I've been waiting on this. Yo, I don't know how you don't understand. I've been waiting on this moment forever. Like, it's been years and years for this moment right here. You gave me the opportunity. I appreciate you for that. But come with it. Facts.
And while that back and forth is unfolding on camera, there's something even more important happening off it. Shakur isn't just speaking, he's preparing. He's taken his camp to Colorado Springs, working out of D1, where the altitude strips away comfort and conditioning becomes non-negotiable. That's Terrence Crawford territory. Fighters don't head there for atmosphere. They go there to refine their edge.
How many you got?
It's all fun and games, man. We just in here having fun, joking around and letting them get some experience. You know, when you boxing, you got to box in front of a lot of different people. So being that they in front of a lot of people right now, we kind of gassing it up, making it feel like it's an atmosphere of a fight. So
This isn't about social media clips or grabbing attention. This is the kind of low-profile, high-altitude work where fundamentals get sharper and conditioning turns unforgiving. Camps like this are built to clean up timing and heart and stamina. And when Shakur chooses that environment, it signals the type of fight he's planning to bring. Not reckless exchanges, not emotional moments, but control, efficiency, and dominance deep into the later rounds.
yeah,
They got it.
let me see that.
Good. That's good.
I feel great. Those sprints kind of be getting me right, you know, get my conditioning right. You know, sometimes in a fight could turn into a sprint. Cause it's like, start the pace fast as hell and then they can't keep up the pace. But the sprints will kind of get you in shape to where once you break down, sometimes you get a second win. Then you get another win. Then you get another win after that. So I did the sprints a lot in a Jamel Herring fight. That's why you seen me fight at a fast pace. And then once I slowed down, I picked it back up and I had all the energy in the world to do it. So we locked in.
That kind of altitude training is designed for one thing, making sure that when the pace is still dangerous, the mind is still clay. It's about turning restraint into a tool and conditioning into quiet confidence. So while Teofimo speaks about control and ownership, Shakur is miles above sea level, building advantages you can't hear in interviews, the kind that only surface when the fight gets long and uncomfortable. And that's what makes it dangerous. When the noise fades, preparation is what remains.
So far, camp going great. We about a month away from fight day. Everything going according to plan. Core look great, man, great. He getting the rounds in. Everything going according to schedule.
We coming.
We coming for the victory. You know, me as a trainer, I don't train to go the distance. I think that's wear and tear on the body. You put all the work in camp to make the fight night as easy as possible, and that's what he.
After breaking down Shakur isolating himself in Colorado Springs, training in thin air, refining every detail at D1 like he's gearing up for a 12-round mental war, the discussion naturally swings back to New York. Because that's where all this tension is headed. Listening to Pauli and Chris on Boxing Scene, it felt like a different level of conversation. No hype cycles, no recycle takes, just fighters who understand what Madison Square Garden really does to your body and your nerves. And they are right. The Garden isn't just a backdrop, it's pressure. It exposes conditioning, mindset, and emotional control. For Shakur, it represents confirmation. For Teofimo, it pours fuel on everything he already carries into the ring.
Teofimo is at his most dangerous when he's counted out. And this is going to be one of those fights where he's going to be counted out. Because Shakur is looked at by and large as the guy who can dominate boxing in this generation, right? It's just a matter of him getting the opportunity. I myself have felt that he's the guy who could and should be dominating boxing if he gets the right matchups. But bro, this is one of the rare matchups, if not maybe the only matchup, where I feel like is a big threat here.
You can almost hear it in the way they describe him. The more Teofimo is underestimated, the sharper he becomes, like his confidence feeds on doubt. We've seen this pattern before. When he's expected to cruise to a win, he can lose focus. But put him in a corner with pressure and a divided crowd, and he turns into something that defies expectations. Shakur, on the other hand, thrives on the opposite energy. He doesn't need chaos to excel. He's the one who arrives early, works quietly, and still nails the execution while everyone else scrambles. That contrast is what makes this matchup feel so compelling. And when Pauli calls Teofimo one of the few real threats to Shakur, it's not shade, it's just the truth.
All come undone only because of this reason. Teofimo Lopez, we've seen him at his best, but he typically brings out his best characteristics when he's back against the wall and he's counted out. And he's going to be counted out in this fight. By and large, people are going to side with Shakur in this fight to win the fight because he's the more consistent fighter, he's the more class fighter overall, and he's just so good. But Teofimo has a way, when you're so good and he knows you're so good and everybody feels like...
Shakur may be the more precise, consistent fighter, but Teofimo is the wild card, unpredictable, capable of showing up in ways that defy logic, disrupt timing, and make the odds board sweat. I love how New York itself was framed as part of the equation, because it really is. This isn't Vegas, where everything runs like clockwork. This is Madison Square Garden, where every cheer and every jeer hits differently. Teofimo can feed off that energy. Shakur tunes it out, treating it like background noise. Two completely different approaches, one ring, and that contrast adds yet another layer to the fight.
Closest, he was not good. He did not. It was not a good night.
Oh, like a street fight.
Yeah, it was shots. And I think I was a guest on that on the call for that show, and I said I got one guy fighting with ego and I got one guy fighting with discipline, and that's what it was, because he just went out there and was just trying to knock him out from round one, and it was not working out well. Now, is he going to do that against Shakur? Absolutely not. But also, we've seen him struggle with guys like Jermaine Ortiz. We've seen him struggle with who was the Canadian guy who I mean, not that he struggled, but he failed to really impress.
Sandor Martin,
another.
On paper, Shakur seems to have the edge, cleaner, smarter, and far more consistent. But boxing doesn't unfold on paper. It unfolds in moments. And Teofimo thrives in moments. That's the real danger. That's why this fight matters. It's not just about belts or rankings. It's a clash between discipline and unpredictability. When seasoned fighters say, "I wouldn't bet on this one," it's not indecision. It's recognition of how unpredictably greatness can show up. This isn't a safe fight. It's a real one. And that's exactly why everyone's eyes are locked on it.
Josh Taylor, a weight class below and years out, said, I can beat that guy. He called out Jaron Ennis. Obviously, he didn't fight Jaron. But when him and his father put their heads together and they see something in a guy and they end up taking a fight like this, that's dangerous where he's the underdog, watch.
Right after Pauli and Chris broke down that discipline versus danger debate, like two fighters who've actually felt the lights and the pressure, the tone shifts when Buddy Muckert speaks. The room seems to settle, quietly serious. Listening to him, it's clear, this isn't hype. It's conviction. No dramatic pauses, no hot takes for clicks, just a man who's seen generations of talent say, Shakur is different. And he keeps it simple. Not debates about athleticism, not noise, not ticket sales, control. The message is clear, you can't rush Shakur, you can't bully him, and you certainly can't rely on luck or brute force. If you're Teofimo, you need to outthink a fighter who plays 12-round chess in his head. That's a brutal challenge. Buddy's description of Shakur makes it feel like he's already halfway through the fight, while everyone else is still stuck watching the trailer.
They have two different styles, you know what I mean? And, Shakur just has a style that, to appreciate it, you got to be a real boxing person.
Yeah, because, when I say athleticism, it's like explosiveness and twitch, but isn't Shakur with the timing and the distance, it's more subtle?
Relaxed, you know what I mean? He can he can do whatever he can take control at any time when he wants to.
Is it like more efficient? Like Teo will cross arm and use all these reflexes. Then Shakur will just take a little half step back.
That's
like,
it.
Is that more
It's all
efficient?
about control. It's all about control.
How competitive a fight you think it's going to be?
It's going to be a very good fight. I mean, it's a fight, and it's in the right place, New York. I've always said, I said years ago in an interview, if that fight happens, it's got to be.
His smooth, but not in a flashy, showy way. Smooth like nothing you try seems to land, and you can't figure out why. That's what makes him dangerous. And when a trainer who's seen the best come and go calls him the top of the class, it's not hometown hype or soundbite. It's a quiet acknowledgement that there are levels in this sport. What hits even harder is how Buddy frames the path for an upset. He doesn't sugarcoat it. If you think Teofimo can just waltz in and turn this into a fight, you're already behind. That's the reality fans don't always want to hear. This fight isn't about toughness or highlight reels. It's about focus, patience, and staying mentally sharp for 12 rounds straight. That's exhausting. And Buddy isn't disrespecting Teofimo. He respects him enough to speak the truth. Beating Shakur requires being smarter than you've ever had to be.